So I think the course hearing at the end is really the cheating prevention mechanism for Newlane, because you then see face to face your student and then you get them to respond to you, and it's actually something I wish we could fit in more in a traditional university setting, because it's really nice to have that individualized conversation to say, are you doing this and are you taking anything on, and you're hearing what I'm saying. It's immediate feedback for me, but it's also ensuring that this person actually did what I want them to do with the course. So a course hearing is about 5 to 10 questions that students can expand on, and they go through questions that are sort of inspired by what they've learned in the course. And my aim, which I always explain at the beginning, is to hear them respond in a way someone who's just taken the course would respond. And sometimes I'll even say, you're describing something. Can you think of a term for what you're describing, as we're speaking? Because there's certain terms and things I'm hoping they'll learn as anthropologists, and in the course that I developed, I really wanted there to be a methodology section in it, because one of the big things that the anthropologists do, it's not just what we study, but it's how we study. And so I know one of the questions sort of prompts them to investigate something like an anthropologist, and I'm really hoping to hear, did you take on that methodology section? Because one way anthropology serves you, besides learning for the sake of learning, anyone can study anthropology, but you can always take the methodology of anthropology and use it in a lot of different areas that you might work in the future. So I think we think of exams and assessments in terms of how much from this course did somebody memorize and can they regurgitate back to me. And I think that is a problematic structure. I think it sort of undermines what we want people to get out of learning, and particularly at this level. I don't need someone to memorize everything about anthropology so they can, I don't know, go to a party and tell someone, every stage of human development or whatever. But what I do want people to do with this course is take on key ideas and then be able to sort of internalize them and think through them, and then have a new lens through which they view the world. And that's a really hard thing to do when you're writing it out as an exam, but it's a really easy thing to do in a conversation with someone, and to prompt them even and say, it's not that I need to know that you memorized, these 3 articles and can spit them back to me, but like, what are you doing with that information? How are you using that information? And so I think we have this system where it's both just checking in and making sure you're not a hired person who went through the course for you so you could tick it off, but it's also like, let's look a little more deeply at what we're trying to do when we take a course.